When Eli Sharabi was released from Hamas captivity after 491 days as a hostage, he looked like a skeletal Holocaust survivor. He was emaciated. He'd experienced unimaginable cruelty at the hands of terrorists in the tunnels of Gaza. Eli had told the BBC on his release that he was very happy to be coming home to his wife and 2 teenage daughters. He was unaware they'd been murdered on October 7. I spoke to Eli during his J&F-sponsored visit to Australia recently, and here's our interview. Eli, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your story in such a courageous way. 5 terrorists broke into your home, and then another 5 came in as well, plus a commander.
Yes. Yes. And they, start to break things at our house. We heard them from the safe room. They arrived to the door, opened it, and our dog barked. And they got stressed and started to shoot in the safe room. Lian was jumping on Noya, and I was jumping on Yahel, trying to protect them. After 10 seconds, we shouted them to stop, and they stopped. Collect our phones. Everybody were in shock. 2 of them grabbed me, and 2 or 3 terrorists took Lian, Noya and Yahel to the kitchen. And immediately when they grabbed us, we've told them that Lian, Noya and Yahel have a British passport. They understood that. And until the day I was released, I was sure they're okay.
Eli, you write in your book how you knew you were going to be kidnapped immediately, but because of the way Hamas treated Lian, letting her get dressed, you believed that your family had been saved.
Yes, it was all calm in the house. We've done everything they told us, so I was sure they will, they will be okay. The terrorists will leave them, and unfortunately 5 minutes after I've been kidnapped from the house, they've been slaughtered.
That's what you know now, that they were killed 5 minutes afterwards.
I understood it was in the hall of the house, but I'm not sure. I didn't agree to see some photos from the house of their bodies, so it's not something I want to do.
No, completely understandable. And of course, you didn't know that at the time. And so from that moment on, the moment you were kidnapped, you became Eli the survivor.
Yes, the minute I was pushed in the car, I've been, I said to myself, now it's surviving mode, and I don't care what's going to happen to me, but I'll come back to my daughters with legs, no legs, hands, no hands. I didn't care. I didn't care if they beat me. I didn't care what they're going to do to me. I'm going to come back to Lian, Noya, and Yahel.
The terrorists didn't know that you could speak Arabic. What were they saying when they kidnapped you? Were they celebrating?
Yes, they were celebrating all the time. First of all, the minute they grabbed me from out of the house, I've seen 150 terrorists in our neighborhood getting in and out from every house in the neighborhood, filming themselves, celebrating, laughing, riding bikes of children, and they stole our cars from the kibbutz. And one of these cars been used to kidnap me towards Gaza.
Eli, when you arrived in Gaza, you were dragged into this rage-filled mob of Palestinian civilians. Did you believe you could have been killed then?
Yes, it was a horrible moment for me. The minute they gone out from the car, the terrorists, a mob of civilians pulled me out and start to lynch me with their bare hands. Kids with their shoes all over me start to hit me, and I was sure it's the end. Fortunately, two of Hamas terrorists succeed to take me out of them and got me into the mosque, undressed me there, and start to speak with me. And they were in shock. I know Arabic, and I start to answer them everything. And they were in shock. They were sure I'm from MI5 and from Mossad and all these things. And I'm from the army. And I said to them, I'm 51 years old. I'm not in the army. I'm civilian.
So, Eli, you spent most of your time in two different tunnels, and the most horrific conditions were in the second tunnel, where there was no running water, no shower, no toilet, and it just ended up being infested with worms. It was just so unhygienic. Can you tell us about how bad those conditions were to live in?
It was awful. No running water in the beginning, no gas, no phone, no food. The hygienic was terrible. We got half bucket of cold water every 4 weeks, 6 weeks. It depends. Of course, almost no soap to have a shower, and the worms was there. It just was horrible.
Terrible. And tell us about the hunger and starvation that you experienced during your time in the tunnels.
Well, it was lots of things that bothered us, and it was awful. We were chained 491 days. I was chained in my hands, in my legs. This iron chain tore our flesh. Sometimes we were chained to each other, and we needed to go to the bathroom together, and it was very humiliating. And they humiliated us daily basis, and sometimes it was violence. They broke my ribs once. But the worst thing was the starvation. It's to be hungry. It's something really, really, really bad. For 6 months, we ate 1 meal a day. When I say 1 meal, it's 1.5 pita bread, and sometimes a bowl of pasta or a bowl of rice for 24 hours, something more than 24, sometimes more than 24 hours, and you just wish and imagine and dreaming about food all the time, and you begging for food from them. But after 3 weeks that we've seen that our body is in a bad condition, after 3 weeks we ate just 1 meal, I decided to shock them a little bit and to hope that they will give us more food. And so I took a razor and cut my eyebrow, and the blood was all over my face. And when I went to the bathroom, I pretended I faint, and they actually were in shock, and they gave us immediately dates to give us more energy. And for a week after that, they gave us another half a pita bread each day to each one of us, and it was amazing, and it was like a small victory we made in this captivity.
But it only lasted a week, yes?
Only lasted a week, yes.
And then they started starving you again, and all the while the Hamas terrorists would spend the day just in the kitchen eating and chatting.
Yes, cooking all day, all their food, using all the boxes from humanitarian aid, and we got nothing from this food, nothing. And they ate 4 or 5 times a day. We knew each day that we are not going to be released. It's jeopardize our life. And I'm happy that I'm released. That I was released on February 8, 2025. When I got into Gaza, I was 70 kilos. When I was released, I was 44 kilos.
Oh, wow. And Eliosa, the cruelty, when you returned to the first tunnel, there was a point when they made you beg for food and they said they'd only give it to you if you recited passages from the Quran, but you wouldn't do that.
Yes, they tried to bribe us with food that we can say some sentences from the Quran, and they wanted us to be Muslims, and they said it's the best way to live, and all the world should live, you know, all the world should be Islam, and after they finish with Israel, they will go to France and United Kingdom and United States, and all the world will be Muslims. That's their vision. And we, of course, we refused to say these sentences for us to stay Jewish. And Israel was again something we told them, like we are telling them, we're not going to do that.
Eli, at points of time when you were in the tunnels, you said you saw the Hamas terrorists watching footage of October 7 over and over again on their iPad.
Yes, they had a laptop and they used to watch lots of movies there of October 7th. We could hear it from we were very close to their where they sit, and we could understand we could understand that it's from October 7th, and that was it was very, very difficult moment for us. Not to pay attention to that, and we knew that they are doing this for, you know, to terrorize us and psychological, that we can be frustrated about nobody's coming for us, and all this.
Eli, when you were eventually released, it involved stage-managed propaganda from Hamas, stomach-churning propaganda. We all saw it. And you describe it in your book as well, how there were Palestinian families. It was like a fun day out. And you were staggered by the numbers in the crowd who were there watching you on stage.
There have been thousands there, everywhere around the stage. We actually really, really frightened if it will get out of control. Hamas terrorists promised us that they will protect us and it will be okay, but it's still, you don't believe it will be that calm. They were shouting. They've been, of course, Allahu Akbar all the time. You afraid from the crowd. You just want to finish this last humiliation. I was really, really expected seeing Lian, Noya and Yahel running towards me. And this is the moment I was dreaming for 491 days. And I really just wanted to finish and to be in the IDF hand again.
And then when the IDF official told you that it would be your mother and your big sister, Osnat, who would be meeting you, and you understood what that meant?
Yes, I understood that the worst scenario happened, unfortunately. And I couldn't really, believe that. I didn't want to believe that, but I always deep down knew that it's there's chances for this scenario. And I was crying a little bit, but after something like 5 minutes, I told the social worker from the IDF, I want to see my mother and my sisters and my brother, and I knew that they will give me the strength I need to deal with this new situation and to rebuild my life again.
And you didn't really comprehend that they were truly gone until you went to where they were buried, near your sister's home?
I needed this closure for me to arrive to their graveyard. And it's like first of all to say sorry for October 7 and to tell them that I made my promise. And I survived this hell, and I came back for them. but unfortunately they didn't survive.
You came back to a world without them. They kept you going. They kept you going for the 491 days.
Yes, yes, I was sure. I was sure I'm going to see them again, and that motivating me, and that I was survived for, just to see them again.
Eli, your life since February, since your release, what's it been like?
Wow. I had 6 months, very, very busy 6 months. Met President Trump and Prime Minister Keir Starmer and loads of foreign ministers and parliament members in UK, in United States, in Australia.
Eli, and why do you do it? What do you want the world to know?
First of all, we cannot forget October 7th. We better not forget something like that. I think October 7 was a wake-up call for a lot of people of what is the situation in our area and with Hamas. So all these things, I'm doing this for a purpose, but the mainly thing I'm doing this, it's to bring back the remain 48 hostages that remained in Gaza, and I hope we gain this target very soon. The world leaders, first of all, should understand that the hostages must come back, and after that the war can stop. And when I tell them in the meeting that you can have disagreements with the Israeli policy, no problem, but you cannot you have to have a stronger voice against anti-Semitism. Those days, in Australia and in Britain and United States, loads of Jewish afraid to walk on the street again in 2025. So it's unimaginable, really, to understand that. And all these hate crimes against Jews have to stop.
They absolutely do. Eli, thank you so much for sharing your story today. I can only imagine how utterly emotionally exhausted you are, and I'm really grateful that you gave us this time, because it is so important for Australia to hear what you've been through and what you have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was my big honor.
Isn't he incredible? And Eli's book, Hostage, it's out today. It is truly the most amazing read. I couldn't recommend it highly enough. I couldn't put it down. I was up all night reading it before our interview. Order it online.